Hello guys, how are you?
I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to your own YouTube channel. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test, and speaking, you got guesswork. Please, guys, participate in everyday listening and reading practice test to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Press the bell icon for the upcoming notifications. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams.
Part 1.
You are going to hear a conversation. Before you listen, please look at
Questions 1 to 6. Good afternoon. Weston Car Club. Could I help you?
Oh, afternoon. I was wondering if you could give me some information about your services.
Sure. What would you like to know?
What about racing training? I heard you had a team.
No, not really. We do have a racing track, but haven't formed a team. Perhaps you're thinking about Waverton Car Club.
Oh, right. I know it. I've watched an auto rally there.
Really? Yes, they've already got a professional team. But we also have our peculiarity. Our track is designed for the starter or fans on senior level instead of the professional ones. Thus, it is very popular with members.
Sounds good.
We have driving training classes too. All the coaches here are very experienced.
Is there any special place for relax?
Of course, at the moment we've got a lounge bar right behind the training centre. Besides, there are vending machines everywhere, as well as a fully licensed restaurant by the end of the year.
I see. Do you have car renting service? I may need a car these days.
Yes, we have a large number of cars in supply. You can choose whatever you want here.
Would you please introduce the renting facilities in detail?
Sure, we now have 2 styles of car for rent, Grade C and Grade D.
What is the difference?
Grade C includes air conditioning, a whole set of stereo, high-class engine, what's more with low mileage.
Spectacular. Is it very expensive?
Well, you pay £300 as a deposit, then it's £40 per day. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's just gone up by £15. Sorry about that. It's now £55 for the rent each day.
I got it. And what's the next type?
Well, Grade D doesn't have air conditioners and is a little bit older than Grade C, but the rent would be far less.
So, how much exactly? Is the deposit the same as for Grade C?
Actually, it's slightly less than the £300. It's £250, but the rent for each day is only £35. Is it a good price for you?
Well, it's still far from what I expected. I will pay a visit to nearby cities for at least 1 week. £35 per day is still beyond my limit. Don't you have any discount?
Then maybe you can try the VIP card.
Would you please introduce it to me?
Of course. You just need to pay a £30 fee for a VIP card. Then you can enjoy an 80% discount for Grade C and 75% for Grade D. Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, you have 30 seconds to read questions 7 to 10. Besides, we also offer road map, sun sheet and flashlight to the VIP.
Oh, that should be all right. By the way, can I pay for it by credit card?
Sure, you can pay by cash or credit card, but no cheques are permitted.
Okay, then I would come in my spare time. What should I do if I want to join?
Well, we book you in for an assessment with an instructor who will show you how to use all the equipment. If you want to organise a trial session and look around the centre, you'll need to speak to Anna Manuja.
Could you spell that, please?
Yes, Anna, Manuja. I'll give you her direct line number. It's 504889615.
Thanks.
Thank you for calling Westin Car Club.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
Before you listen, please look at questions 11 to 20. Now listen to the lecture and answer questions 11 to 20.
Welcome to Hawaii Tour Agency. Let me tell you something about a special package we have going on this week. I know everyone wants to get away from the stress of work and life, so I think you should all consider a week-long vacation to the paradise of Hawaii. First of all, let me tell you all a little about Hawaii. The Hawaiian Islands are of volcanic origin and are edged with coral reefs. Because of its volcanic origins, people often go especially to see the volcanoes. Hawaii is the largest and geologically the youngest island of the group. Oahu is the most populous and economically important. The capital of Honolulu is located on the island of Oahu, the only US state in the tropics. Hawaii is sometimes called the paradise of the Pacific because of its spectacular beauty, abundant sunshine, expanses of lush green plants and beautiful coloured flowers, palm trees, coral beaches with rolling white surf, and cloud-covered volcanic peaks rising to majestic heights. Some of the world's largest active and inactive volcanoes are found on Hawaii and Maui. Eruptions of the active volcanoes have provided spectacular displays, but their lava flows have occasionally caused great property damage. The lava can spill down the mountains into the settlements where people live. The most famous of these is right by Honolulu. It is called Diamond Head because from far away, the top of the volcano looks like a diamond. Vegetation is generally luxuriant throughout the islands, with giant fern forests and lush vegetation. Although many species of birds and domestic animals have been introduced on the islands, there are few wild animals other than boars and goats, and there are no snakes. The coastal waters abound with fish. More ethnic and cultural groups are represented in Hawaii than in any other state. Chinese labourers who came to work in the sugar industry were the first of the large groups of immigrants to arrive, starting in 1852, and Filipinos and Koreans were the last after 1900. Other immigrant groups, including Portuguese, Germans, Japanese, and Puerto Ricans, came in the latter part of the 19th century. Intermarriage with other races has brought a further decrease in the number of pure-blooded Hawaiians, who comprise a very small percentage of the population. Now, this all sounds very interesting, right? For only $600 per person, we are offering a tour package to Hawaii. This includes your round-trip airfare and fully guided tours. The duration of the trip is 5 days, including hotel for 5 nights and tour buses that will take you all around. We will go to the famous beaches, the volcanoes and the forests. Sign up today to save your space as seats are running out quickly.
The end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
You are going to hear a conversation. Before you listen, please look at questions 21 to 30. Now listen to the conversation and answer questions 21 to 30.
I'm going to speak to Eric this afternoon, the Central University's Environment and Resources Professor. Good afternoon, Eric.
Good afternoon, Jane.
I know that our university has recently begun a programme for recycling bottles. Can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, Jane. I heard that our university has been recycling bottles for about 4 months now. And in fact, it's totally voluntary, and we find that most members are students, and they all agree that there's lots of need for it. And in fact, many people ever do some recycling in their home.
I'm sure.
Yes, so we thought that would be a good idea to introduce it here for the students. Initially, we started in the university classrooms, where we found there were many bottles.
I can imagine.
It was surprising, really. The waste came largely from water bottles and alcoholic beverage bottles and non-alcoholic beverage bottles.
Right. But how did you want to start the bottle recycling process?
Well, there is a government collection service that deals with the used bottles from many places, and then it takes the bottles to a recycling plant to be recycled into plastic products or new bottles, such as plastic bags.
I think it is great.
We call it Bottle Saver. Our members also prepare boxes for students, placing used bottles inside.
Oh, I think I've seen some of those.
I think that is quite a good idea.
Me too. How much are the boxes?
They only cost $1 each, and they were very large. In fact, they can carry about 20 bottles each.
That's quite a bit, isn't it? So in student records, how many boxes would you need?
In student records, we've bought 12 boxes.
Well, how often do the boxes get full?
They fill up about every other day, and we should change into empty ones as they are full, and then send the bottles to the recycling plant.
Turn about.
So we don't need many boxes. We just fill them up as we go along, while we are waiting for Bottle Saver to deal with our full boxes.
It sounds great.
Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, you have 30 seconds to read questions.
And do you think people would like to use the used bottles as well?
In theory, we would like to think so.
I think so.
But in fact, that is a slight problem. We encourage people to do this by having 3 different ways.
What are those?
First, there is refused bottle that is integrated and left after drink. And secondly, the recycled bottle that has no unused sides at all. The last, there is scrap bottle. That bottle is broken into small pieces, or for some reason, it is just not useful.
So it should be separate, isn't it?
Yeah, it is separate. And to answer your question, we encourage people to use the refused bottles and try to use them to carry something. The other bottles can be given to Bottle Saver for recycling.
That's good. There are many ways for people to use bottles. Do you ever find anything undesirable in the boxes?
Sometimes.
For example?
Well, there have been things like orange peels, bags of socks, and waste paper. Once students found a wallet in the boxes.
That sounds not bad.
Uh-huh.
Have you found the owner?
Yeah, we found the owner immediately because he put his identity card in his wallet. He was so lucky.
Would you say that bottle recycling process is working well?
Of course. I really think that it's a great idea, and in fact, it's a good way of saving our resources.
I agree with you. It's very important.
We can get many kinds of plastic products made from recycled bottles. I think the great thing is that everyone feels they are doing something good when they buy products from recycled bottles.
Of course. I think most people will share this view. Well, thank you for your time this afternoon. The thing you share with us is interesting, And let's hope people in our university all join in the bottle saver.
Thank you.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
Before you listen, please look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen to the lecture and answer questions 31 to 40.
Afternoon, and welcome to this Earth Sciences lecture. Today we're going to look at tidal waves, or more correctly, tsunami. Deep below the ocean's surface, tectonic plates collide, and every once in a while, these forces produce an earthquake. The energy of such submarine earthquakes can produce tidal waves, which radiate out in all directions from the epicenter of the quake, moving at speeds of up to 500 miles per hour. When these waves reach shore, they can cause enormous destruction and loss of life. Tidal waves are actually misnamed. They are not caused by tides. A more accurate word for them is the Japanese name tsunami, which means harbour wave. They are also sometimes called seismic sea waves, since they can be caused by seismic disturbances such as submarine quakes. However, that name is not really accurate either, since tsunami can also be caused by landslides, volcanic eruptions, nuclear explosions, and even impacts of objects from outer space, such as meteorites, asteroids, and comets. Earthquakes, though, are the largest cause of tsunami. Tectonic plates cover the world's surface, and their movement can be detected anywhere in the world. Some areas of the world are more prone to greater movement, and it is in these places that the largest waves can occur. Large vertical movements of the Earth's crust occur at plate boundaries, which are known as faults. The Pacific Ocean's denser oceanic plates are often known to slip under continental plates in a process known as subduction, and subduction earthquakes are the most effective in generating tsunamis. A tsunami can be generated by any disturbance that displaces a large water mass from its equilibrium position. In the case of earthquake-generated tsunamis, the water column is disturbed by the uplift or subsidence of the sea floor. Submarine landslides, which often accompany large earthquakes, as well as collapses of volcanic edifices, can also disturb the overlying water column as sediment and rock slump down and are redistributed across the sea floor. Violent submarine volcanic eruptions can create an impulsive force that uplifts the water column and generates a tsunami. Conversely, supermarine landslides and cosmic body impacts disturb the water from above, as momentum from falling debris is transferred to the water into which the debris falls. Generally speaking, tsunamis generated from these mechanisms, unlike the devastating Pacific-wide tsunamis caused by earthquakes, dissipate quickly and rarely affect coastlines distant from the source area. Tsunamis are very hard to detect since they cannot be seen when they are in the deep ocean. The distance between two wave crests can be 500 kilometers and, because of this, the wave height is only a few feet. Because the rate at which a wave loses its energy is inversely related to its wavelength, tsunamis not only propagate at high speeds, they can also travel great transoceanic distances with limited energy losses. As the tsunami reaches shallow water, however, its speed decreases, but the energy it contains remains about the same. Instead of traveling fast, the wave rises high. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has set up a seismic detection system to monitor earthquakes and predict the possible arrival of tidal waves for Pacific countries. Buoys at sea can also detect water pressure changes that can indicate tsunamis moving through the ocean. But when tsunamis originate near the shore, there is often little chance to warn people. Let's look at some examples of tsunamis and their causes and effects. Some can be relatively harmless. In 1992, an offshore landslide caused a tidal wave of only about 3 feet high that struck a low tide, so Humboldt's county, where it hit, got off easy with no casualties. On January the 13th, 1992, a Pacific Ocean earthquake off the coast of San Salvador, registering 7.6 on the Richter scale, didn't cause any ocean disturbance at all. However, a recent tidal wave which struck Papua New Guinea on July the 17th, 1998 was 23 feet high and killed at least 1,200 people. This wave was caused by a magnitude 7.1 submarine earthquake. On July the 17th, 1998, a Papua New Guinea tsunami killed roughly 3,000 people. A huge underwater volcanic eruption 15 miles offshore was followed within 10 minutes by a wave some 40 feet tall. The villages of Arup and Warapu were destroyed. One of the worst tsunami disasters engulfed whole villages in Sanriku, Japan in 1896. An underwater earthquake induced a wave of 35 feet, drowning some 26,000 people. Finally, about 8,000 years ago, a massive undersea landslide off the coast of Norway sent a 30-foot wall of water barreling into the uninhabited northern coast of Europe. If this were to reoccur today, as scientists say, it could. Almost anywhere in the world, it would cost billions, if not tens of billions of dollars to repair the damage to coastal cities and kill tens of thousands of people.
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So guys, don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys, participate in everyday new IELTS listening and reading practice tests to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. The link is given below in the description. If you need PDF files of latest IELTS material, then please join my Telegram channel. So guys, please write your score below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.